Hello, I'm Rico Cavella. Welcome to this episode of Fearless Aging. And the title of today's episode, it's a really important one. It's all about how to create good posture and how important it is for good health. You know, a true measure of your age is how good is your posture. So this is one of my favorite interviews that I did with a healthcare practitioner way back couple years ago in my Your Self Care Guide Summit. So it's really good. You'll get some really good information and see how you can create much better posture. So before we get right into it, I have a short message from one of our sponsors.
Stop forcing down those massive pills that end up in your toilet, not in your bloodstream. Hello, I'm Rico Cavella. For the very first time in my 43 years as a personal trainer and wellness coach, I am endorsing and recommending a unique line of nutritional supplements. Superior Source produces an exclusive line of microlingual tablets that dissolve instantly under your tongue. I have a hard time swallowing large tablets and capsules, but these tiny tablets are the easiest to take I have ever found. These products are clinically tested for purity, potency, and have the highest rate of absorption. Microlingual tablets are ideal for those with digestive challenges and for infants and children, as there are no pills to swallow. They offer a full line of key nutritional supplements, including many for children. So why give these supplements a try? They're easy to take, highly absorbable, and inexpensive. Join thousands who have ditched their pills. One tablet under your tongue will make you a believer.
All right, here we go with why and how to create good posture.
Hello, I'm Rico Cavella, and this is your Ageless Body Self-Care Guide, Operations Manual for your body and for your mind. And the title of this session is The Importance of Good Posture. And this is so important. You know, for many, many years, I've been telling my clients and whenever I get to speak that how good is your posture? Your posture is a true measure of your age. So this is such an important topic, and we're really lucky to today to have Dr. Stephen Weiniger. Is that Weiniger? Sorry, I forgot to ask you how to pronounce your name.
No worries.
Weiniger, he's an internationally renowned posture expert. He has trained thousands of doctors, therapists, trainers, and other health and wellness professionals to first rehab injuries and then help their patients and clients keep moving well as they age with strong posture exercise protocols. So Dr. Weiniger, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Rico. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate the work that you're doing. So let's just jump right into it. And I mean, how do you define what is good? How do you determine what is a really good posture?
I might shift the question a little bit, because framing posture as good versus bad makes it something that is kind of an attribute. That's the way that you are. You're putting a hat on someone's head and they say, yep, I've got bad posture, and they adopt that. My body is shaped differently than your body. My body's going to be able to move differently than your body. And it's not about what the perfect body is, because mine's not perfect. I don't know about yours and most people's body. No one's body is perfect, but it is unique. So the way that we look at posture is that it's a function. And what you said at the beginning, I completely agree with. It's a great measure of your health function. And the main function of posture is balancing your body. It's keeping your body vertical. And the second posture principle that we talk about is your posture is how you balance your body. It's what you're doing, not just statically when you're not moving, but dynamically when you are moving. It's what you're doing, the subtleties as well as the gross motions, to keep your body vertical. And so when you look at it functionally that way, it opens the door to strengthening it functionally by looking at the subtleties of how you're moving, of how you're balancing, and how you're aligning, and how you're moving. Not one or the other, all three tied together.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, I totally agree. That's really a good explanation. And we'll talk a little bit about why having, well, we'll say good again, but having a posture that's beneficial for your health. So why is it so important? Why is posture so important for good health?
Posture has a huge impact on health. One of the things that got me started with what we're doing right now, in 2004, a 20-year study that was done at the University of London was published, and they found that as men, they looked at 4,000 some odd men, and they measured their height precisely over 20 years. And they found that as men got older, they lost height, which is not surprising because as bodies collapse posturally, height goes down. And they found when they broke them into groups of people that were lost less than a centimeter, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeters worth of height, the more height they lost, the sooner they died. When they compared the ones that lost over 3 centimeters to less than 1, they had a 1.64 times greater probability of dying during that 20-year period. Since then, there's been bukus of studies done documenting that as posture breaks down, balance breaks down. As posture and or balance breaks down, people die sooner. There's huge correlation. That's why the title of my book was Stand Taller, Live Longer. Not just be taller, but opening your body to unfold it from the collapse so that to get the words that you're having a problem with of, well, if it's not bad, then what is it? It's weak. And the flip side of weak is strengthening posture because it's a back function. So if I can teach you how to connect with your body and strengthen the way that you stand and sit and move so your posture is stronger, that's the direction that we want to go in rather than labeling it good and bad, because strong means you can strengthen it. You don't stop going to the gym because you're already strong. You want to keep on being strong.
Well, it's so interesting that you mentioned, that people actually don't live as long if your posture is not as strong or as good as it can be. So would you say that what really would be the reason for that is, well, first of all, you can't breathe very well. You're not getting enough oxygen if you don't have good posture, right? And then maybe on the balance thing, if it affects your balance, then you're probably people are falling over and breaking their hips and all those sort of things.
And the biggest, most obvious thing I didn't even mention is back pain and neck pain. Mm-hmm. Because if there's back and neck pain, people aren't as active. When people aren't as active, they're getting less exercise and they're sitting more, which makes the spiral of not moving, being in pain, so you don't move. Muscles get weaker, except for the muscles that you're using, and your body literally folds and you can't breathe. Mm-hmm. The goal is getting people to keep on moving. And that's why the thing we talk about is you have to move well as you age, to move well as you age. If you have a problem where it hurts to move like this, but it feels better to move like this, you're going to move in that what we call adaptive or compensatory posture, which strengthens those muscles in that pattern. And that imbalance means you keep on getting better and better at moving with that imbalance. Your balance literally does break down because you think I'm working out straight because I'm standing straight, but that's not what reality is. And that's a big reason why balance breaks down. That's a big reason why strengthening bodies to move towards symmetry helps demonstrably strengthens balance, which is the beginning point of strengthening posture.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you say? What are some of the main causes that create bad posture?
Well, in today's world, the big thing that's brand new, guess what?
Yeah, guess what?
If you give somebody a screen that's got good fun stuff that's designed to engage you so you can't look away, your eyes follow where your head follows where your eyes are going. You end up looking down at it until you're bent over like an old man when you're 16. And I've seen more and more kids that their posture is incredibly folded at an insanely young age. When you're talking about posture being good and bad, it's like, okay, it's bad. It becomes something you can't have an action to. When you point out how weak it is to do certain things and how they can strengthen it, that gives them a direction to do something better. That's why I so agree with your focus on helping people to help themselves, empowering people. It's not about buying something new. It's not about getting a new gizmo. It's about connecting with your body and strengthening the body that you were given. And it's the one at the end of the day, you got to live in. If you wear it out, where are you going to live?
That's so well said. Yeah, I totally agree. So some of the main causes is like, again, we're just not paying attention, right? We're sitting slumped over. We're doing things without being aware of the position of our body and our neck and all these things. And so it's really about being more aware, right?
It is, and while that's a big part of it, the challenge is you can't think about your posture all the time. Moreover, you shouldn't think about your posture all the time because life happens. This is why we strongly advocate focusing for a short period of time each day, 10 minutes a day throughout the day, taking breaks, calibrated to focus your attention on a little bit of what your posture is. Because the problem is you think you're doing one thing when you're really doing something that's either subtly different or grossly different. And what I described a moment ago, that you keep on moving in the patterns that your body's learned, it's the third posture principle. Your body learns to move in the patterns you teach it. The folds that progress over time, it's like the hour hand on a clock. Instead of pointing straight up when you think you're standing tall, when you watch people age, the posture keeps on folding and it goes to 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And suddenly they're bent over or using a walker, which makes the problem even worse because they're using the muscles that they shouldn't be using and not using the muscles they should be using. So then they have to get into a wheelchair. So then they need the scooter. And it's not just trying to, because at some point, well, I keep on trying, but I can't do it because they're exercising in all the other waking hours. The trick is focusing your attention in the small and systematically on the small things you can do to strengthen it and connecting your body's perception to the reality. And there's a gap that as posture weakens, the gap between perception and reality gets wider and wider. One way that we suggest people look at that is take a picture, see what you look like, and look at it carefully.
Yeah, we're going to get into some things that you can begin to do right now that will help you. What I always do, Stephen, is just look around. When you're out someplace walking around, look at what reminds me to have good posture. I see so many people with such, again, I know I shouldn't be saying good or bad, but let's say weak posture, right? That's better term. I like your weak and strong.
Strong and weak. And
I like that better,
and
yeah.
You can see it.
Okay, weak. Yeah, I see it all the time. And I go, whoa. Then it makes me think about my posture. So that could be helpful too. Okay, so now let's get into what's really important here is talk about some maybe 3 or 5 things that you teach people and what they can do right now to begin to improve their strengthen their posture.
The first thing, the most important thing is exactly what you said. Becoming aware of posture. And then taking that one step further of becoming posture conscious of your body. And you just described 2 things, both of those at the same time of I'm aware of posture and I look at what people are doing. And then you're being conscious of what your body's doing. And that conscious is stopping to be aware of, and you did it quickly, but you basically went like this when you said that. Because you learned in your mind that, yes, that's the direction that I want to be going in. And this is not the time or the place to go into detail about what your body is, but it was dramatically in the right direction. It's not about being perfect. It's not about having good. It's about paying attention to the direction. And then that then makes you start to do something to strengthen that. That's what the awareness part of the public health message that we talk about on posturemonth.org of acing your posture. Being aware is one thing, and then taking control. That's what the C in ACEs are for. Control is doing something different, and this is what we teach with the strong posture exercises, is take control of strengthening your balance, your alignment, and your motion. The very first the 2 beginning exercises that we teach people to do is first lean against the wall, and your body has 4 masses that you're balancing. You're balancing your lower extremity on top of your pelvis. Your pelvis is underneath your torso, and your torso with your arms is underneath your head. Those are the big masses that are being balanced. The more they're stacked towards vertical, the better things are. The more they're not, the weaker things are. So aligning the pelvis and torso against the wall, you can step out a little bit and then keep your head level. And keeping your head level, push your head back towards the wall and see how far you can get keeping your head level. If you're looking up in the air, your head's not level. Mm-hmm. And pushing back in that direction to align the head over the torso and pelvis. Because the torso pelvis has another name in the workout world. That's called the core. So aligning the core to be vertical and the head to be level and pushing it back to be aligned is the first exercise. And doing that for 5 slow breaths. All motion be connected with breathing. When you stop breathing, you can't keep on doing this very long. You want to keep your body breathing. So we call that walling, and that's the first of the alignment protocols. And connecting that with the second exercise, which is balance, strengthening your balance. Easy way to start strengthening your balance, lifting one leg up and holding it for 5 breaths. I'd like ideally getting your thigh parallel to the ground. Your standing leg should be straight, not bent. If it's bent a little bit, that's another way of compensating. Mm-hmm. I'd rather you not lift it as well as tall, but I want the leg to be straight. Touching the wall is fine. The point is standing tall and challenging your balance. That's how muscles get stronger, when you challenge something. The problem is, if you're weak, you're going to make something else work. And over time, the more you make something else work, the something else gets stronger, and the things you should be working get weaker. What we do is teach people how to find and strengthen the weak link in their bodies, what we call the chain of motion, by focusing on balance and alignment and motion and tying those together in strong posture protocols.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, I want to remind people that, there's a PDF that comes with this, with Dr. Weiniger's session and this video. And so in that, you'll have the transcript, you can read it, but also then you'll have all the contact information. You can get a hold of Dr. Weiniger, and you can get his books. You can get a lot more information on his website, and you'll find all that information, so you can learn really a lot of more of his posture recommendations, how to strengthen your posture. That'll be really helpful. But I think the main message that we wanted to get out to you today was that how important your posture is, and that you need to take control of it, and you can, and it's going to make a big difference in your overall health and well-being. And so I would just say, I guess my last question for you then is what ideas do you have in order to actually get people motivated to actually take action on what you recommend, on what you recommend that
That's
they do?
Easy.
That's the big thing in there.
That's easy. Every disease has the seed of its cure. Every phone has a camera. Have a friend take your posture picture. How do you take a posture picture? Stand up straight against a neutral background. Don't stand up weird, but just stand in what it feels like is straight. And have them take a picture from the front. That's kind of okay. More important, a picture from the side looking straight ahead. Mm-hmm. And then when you look at it, draw a line up from the 4 posture zones, from the bottom of your feet to your buttocks, to your shoulder, and to your head. And if everything is stacked, especially the back edges of those, from the back of your heel, your buttocks, your shoulder, your head, if that's stacked straight, your posture is looking in the right direction. But if when your perception is, yes, I'm standing tall, but the picture says that your head is, right, that the alignment of your shoulder is hitting the middle of your head instead of the back of your head, mm-hmm, what that's telling you is that your perception and reality have a gap. Start trying to strengthen your posture, and people notice quickly that when they come back and take other pictures, it gets stronger, because the idea of focusing attention is that's how you reprogram. You've done sports along the way. You've worked with a coach. A coach told you to keep your elbows straight when you're coming across, when you're swimming, or bend it at a little bit angle, or hold the hand up. And then you could focus on one little thing. A coach tells you one thing at a time. It doesn't tell you 25 things. You can't do 25 things. Focus means one thing. So working with a coach or working with someone that can help you to strengthen the weak links in your body's chain is what we're about for the public as well as for doctors that work with them. And that's what we train doctors to be, as a strong posture professional.
And that's so good. Stephen, thank you so much for that. That's such great information, and I really appreciate the work you're doing. I just want to say one last thing. Forward head posture is such a problem these days, right? So one thing, I learned this from a yoga teacher. She says, just go like this once in a while. Just take your finger to your nose and just press back. Don't push it all back, but just kind of go like this, and that kind of realigns your head where it should be. That's kind of a...
That is a really good thing. If I can make an observation about that and a tip for that, because it's one of the other things. It's not just the forward head posture, because when you tell someone, in fact, one way to demonstrate this is to have someone take a picture from the side of just their regular posture, and then tell them to try to stand tall. And when they try to stand tall, especially if you're making them aware of forward head posture, what they will do is they'll pull the head backwards and they'll go up.
Oh, yeah.
And they won't even know they're going up. And what happens when you only put your finger back on the nose is you'll tend to go up. So a way to protect against that, if you want to use a finger on the head, the skull, instead of putting it on your nose, put it underneath your nose.
Oh, okay. That's good.
And make your nose put the bottom of your nose down on top of your finger. So pushing down on your finger, not hard, but just making that the contact. So you're not following, the hand doesn't follow the head, but the finger leaves the body by keeping the head level. It's a subtle difference, but I'll wager when you try it, you'll feel it differently, and you'll probably feel it right about at the base of the head, where a lot of people get their headaches for that reason. No,
that's so good. I'm going to start doing this. So instead of telling people to go like this, I'm going to have them do like this. Yeah, that's so good.
Just doing that right now, that was different. And you felt the difference.
Very good. Stephen, thank you so much. That was so good. And I want to thank you for being here for all of our viewers. And also, again, I like to always remind you that knowledge without action is useless. So you got to take action on what all of our experts all the recommendations. So thank you very much for being here.
A pleasure. Enjoyed chatting.
All right, we're back. Hope you enjoyed that. Some really good information. Put your finger here and just push your head back and work on your balance and your core and your posture. It'll serve you really well. Before we close, I have another short message from one of our great sponsors.
In your 60s, 70s, and 80s, you were healthier, stronger, with more vitality than in your 40s. It's not genetics, it's not luck, it's the ageless living lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Rico Cavaglia, creator of the Ageless Living Lifestyle. I've had the good fortune to work with hundreds of individuals just like you who greatly improve their overall health and well-being. But my clients aren't just staying healthy, they're out hiking mountains, playing sports, and feeling better in their 70s and 80s than they did in their 40s. My clients and I are living agelessly, and I know you can as well. So let's have a friendly conversation about your personal aging challenges and your goals. There's no pressure, just an honest conversation about where you are now and where you want to be, and whether the ageless living lifestyle is a good fit for you. So I'm here for you. Let's talk.
Okay, that wasn't a sponsor. That was a message from me. I clicked the wrong button. So I'm going to play, again, a short video from our sponsor, and then we'll wrap it up.
In a perfect world, we would all be happy, healthy, and successful. But stress, family, genetics, and life's little surprises take their toll on our brains, our bodies, and our psyche. And our quality of life suffers because we're not functioning at our best. Well, you can start by training your brain with the Quantum Mind method. This is not a game, and it's not a toy. It's developed by the world's only brainwave entrainment engineer, backed by over 40 years of research and development. It's 100% natural and couldn't be easier to use. With regular listening, your brain will naturally become stronger, more efficient, your most reliable ally, and all with almost no effort. You can achieve anything you want and get the most out of your life with the Quantum Mind method. The world is yours, so take it. Take it now.
All right. Thanks for being here. And I encourage you to contact our experts, contact our sponsors. They all have a lot more great information and free gifts for you. So it will definitely be worth your while. And if you like today's episode, tell your friends about the Fearless Aging TV show.